to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Joey Sly, the kicker, stands ready, and off we go from Nashville. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. First carry for James Conner. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. Here's Murray. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on third and long? They'll fake it to Conner. Now Murray. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
From the 48-yard line, here's a second down and 4. Murray a give. This is Conner. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 12 yards to pick up, good enough for an Arizona first. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay? Because it says something like this. I've got this many seconds to find the target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this first down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets a big gain, and they'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
2nd and 10. Murray now. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Murray. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. They called the corner blitz, and Roger McCreary, he got in there and earned the sack.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Prater's kick is good, and the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Titans set and ready to go on offense. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Levis out of the gun on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Titans first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit. Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They toss it down to Pollard. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss, and that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
Here's Levis. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. The former 3rd-round pick, Justin Jones, bringing the lumber that time. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. There's a short one caught by Ryman. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Play action. Now it's Murray. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Murray going to throw. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. Put a man in motion left, Ridley. Working from the gun, here's Levis. He gets this one to Burks. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Well, they go play action. Here's Levis. He'll complete this one to Okonkwo. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target, able to pick up another first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll throw it again with Levis. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Now a 2nd and 10. Levis out of the shotgun now. Throwing the out route, finding Boyd for the completion. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Now Levis. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Levis looking to throw. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Pollard, he'll take it up the gut. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Spears. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Levis sets up to throw here. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Tony Pollard taking it in. And the Titans have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's the Arizona over. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Try to lay one up deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Levis. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Levis to throw off play action. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snapped, and they're there, and they end up making the play.
Levis to throw once more. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. The Titans on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Levis back to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Sly able to put this one through, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
So they still get the completion even though the blitz was on, but the blitz got there. Does that stay in the mind of the quarterback the next couple plays?
That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're planning for. It's a little risk reward, right? You're leaving your guys on an island back there in man coverage, but you take the chance that you get to the quarterback, and so he gets completion here. Congratulations. Keep coming at him, and hopefully it pays off by the end of the game that you're starting to get to him while still able to cover on the back end.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Credit the sack there to Arden Key. Well, you could almost see his eyes light up defensively. I mean, as a linebacker, that's about as quick as you can get to a quarterback.
So what did your 3rd grade teacher teach you about straight lines, right? As soon as you have those, you take full advantage of them. He found a gap in the offensive line, got to the quarterback, and put him on the deck.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, it's Levis. And now this is intercepted, my goodness. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. On 1st and 10 is countered. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. To throw, it's Murray. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Murray now to throw. Screen pass to Connor. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one good for only 6, and it leaves them with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that'll bring them back within 4. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well because it's not quite no harm, no foul. But the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound. And the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Levis from the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Titans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. On the option right, here's Levis. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Gonna run again here with Pollard. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
This is 2nd and 8. Levis to throw it. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 24-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
A truly all-around great effort against the pass today. First an interception, now getting to the quarterback for the first time in this contest. I think offensively, they just forgot to prepare for him or simply overlooked him in getting ready for this one. Either way, a big mistake, and he's making them pay for it.
It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 52 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Here's Levis. And he's got it. Touchdown. Traylon Burks. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast, but a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The football going back over to Arizona now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Across midfield. And down right around the 37. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
A short one here, caught by McBride. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
From the gun on third down, Murray. That is caught, and he is going to have a Cardinals first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Murray going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Connor. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Again, it'll be Connor. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Prater's kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the fourth quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Titans offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. Well, now how about this return? And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half. Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And he will find Ridley. That's complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Levis out of the gun on third down. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And they will take over first and 10. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. Murray and the Cardinals with a first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll start the drive with a give to Connor. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Now a 2nd and 6. Here's Murray. That pass completed to Dortch. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Right back to Connor here on first. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Murray now. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Here's Murray. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively, and this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Now 2nd and 3. Back to throw. And that's caught one more time by Boyd. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Just more of the same here. That's back-to-back catches for him to start the drive. They've looked his way quite a bit, and with good reason, as this duo picks up yet another first down.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now Levis. And he will find Ridley on the left side. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Levis sets up to throw here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 41-yard line. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Levis looking to throw. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
In motion, the tight end. They'll throw it again with Levis. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Levis. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They'll run with Pollard. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Pollard again. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Tony Pollard with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Titans go up by 2 touchdowns. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. The drive will start with Connor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, a run with Connor. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. And now a fake there on the jet sweep as they'll give to Pollard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
Back to throw, it's Levis. And he will... The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at the 34. They start the drive with Connor. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 48 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. Murray a give. This is Connor. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. That's complete to Michael Wilson. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 32-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's 2nd and 3. Now Murray. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Titans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. He completes it to Ridley. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
That's complete. It's Josh Wiley. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
2nd down and 3. Put a man in motion left. Ridley. Levis back to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
The Titans on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Running right, it's Pollard. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it's 2nd down. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Levis to throw off play action. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It's Zaven Collins who got in there to get the sack. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Cardinals offense ready to set up shop. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry. with time dwindling in the fourth quarter. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Caught. It's Wilson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw, it's Murray. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw is Murray. Screen pass to Connor. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Murray now to throw. That ball caught by Harrison. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A well-executed 22-yard gain. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing again, Murray. Throwing quickly to Wilson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Murray now. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Murray going to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6. An option handoff given to Connor. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. James Conner. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Tennessee offense set to go again. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Levis from the gun. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Levis to throw it. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Levis. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another first down. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Here's Levis. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Well, the Card's going to call another timeout, their 2nd. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun to give to Pollard. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Levis sets up to throw here. That is caught, and he is going to have a Titans first down, and that should just about do it. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Levis takes a knee here, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's a win here for the Titans, and it was thanks in large part to the play of their second-year quarterback.
Yeah, the numbers don't jump off the page, but he was a steady influence back there. He had a couple of touchdown passes on the afternoon. His guys rallied around him, and they're going to come away victorious.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaunt. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Titans are winners here as we say so long from